All right, for 13, 14, 15, and 16, we are doing the exact same thing as we did before. Just instead of saying, hey, g of x is this, we are physically telling you what to do. So you just need to know what goes inside, what goes outside, how do you take care of it, what's backwards, what's normal, all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to, first things first, I'm going to write a rule. So my g of x is going to equal, and if I vertically stretch by 2, vertical's on the outside, it's all normal, so I'm going to multiply by 2, followed by a translation 3 units up. So again, that's on the outside because it's going up and down. So it's f of x plus 3. There's nothing on the inside because there's nothing horizontal. I'm not adding or subtracting anything from the x values, nothing left or right, nothing horizontal. So for f of x, all I've got to do, for the new function g of x, I simply take my f of x, multiply by 2, and add 3. So it's 2 times x to the 4th minus 2x squared plus 3. So g of x equals negative 2x to the 4th minus 4x squared plus 3. I don't even have to combine the 3 with anything. Yay! And that's your answer. Right. Number 14, same idea. Let's go ahead and start off by creating my rule, my g of x, and equals my f of x. So we've got a horizontal shrink by a factor of 1/3. So we are shrinking by 1/3. It's like dividing by 3. But remember, everything on the inside is backwards. So to say shrink by 3, I have to multiply the inside by 3. Okay? And then a reflection across the x-axis. If I'm going across the x-axis, remember I'm going left and right, so that's an inside thing since it's going the x value, it's inside thing. So I need to make the inside negative. So it's f of negative 3x. So here we go. To make my g of x, I take my f of x, and I'm going to replace all the x's with negative 3x. So here we go. I've got negative 3x to the 4th minus 2 negative 3x squared. So g of x equals negative 3 to the 4th power, I think, is positive 81. Clear. 3 to the 4th is 81. So yep, negative. So that's 81 x to the 4th. Negative 3 squared is a positive 9. Positive 9 times the negative 2 out front is a negative 18x squared. And there you go. Okay. If you want to try the next two on your own, then come back and watch them. Great. If not, just keep watching. Give me a second. All right, number 15. They give us the f of x, so let's start off by writing the rule, g of x. We are going to translate 1 unit left, reflection across the x, and a vertical stretch by 2. So I'm going to start off by thinking of the inside ones. Left is an inside, and then reflection across the x is an outside, and a vertical stretch is outside. So the inside, I'm going 1 unit left. So I need to add 1 to my x's, which that's going to be a pain in the butt. Followed by a reflection in the x-axis and a vertical stretch by a factor of 2. So I'm going to multiply by a negative 2. So I've got a negative 2 f of x. Multiply by the 2 because it's a vertical stretch. Multiply by the negative because it's a reflection across the x-axis. Hi, Belle. Oh, did not realize I was giving you one quite this algebra heavy, but that's okay. We will survive it. So, to get g of x, remember, conserve space on this one. You're going to want it. We need to multiply negative 2 by the entire formula and add x plus 1 on the inside. So we got x plus 1 cubed minus 6 times x plus 1 squared plus 5. So we need to take care of that inside part first. So I'm just going to go over here to the right, and I'm going to work out x plus 1 cubed. X plus 1 times x plus 1. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 1 is x. X times 1 is x. x times 1, x times x is x squared. So x squared plus 2x plus 1. This is my x squared. So that one, this one right here, I can substitute right there because that's my x plus 1 squared. We need to do it again. And actually, it's turning out this one's not as bad as I thought it would be. But let's do an x plus 1 again. So 1 times x is 1, 1 times 2x is 2x, 1 times x squared is x squared, x times 1 is x times 2x is 2x squared, x times x squared is x cubed, and that adds up to, I'll write it over here, x cubed plus 3x squared plus 3x plus 1. Okay, so that is my x plus 1 cubed. So here we go. You ready? I've got, for g of x, I got negative 2, bracket. X plus 1 cubed is x to the third power plus 3x squared plus 3x plus 1. X plus 1 squared is this one over here, which I need to multiply by negative 6, because remember this x squared is being multiplied by negative 6. So let's go ahead and knock that out at the same time. Negative 6 times x squared is negative 6x squared. Negative 6 times 2x is negative 12x. And negative 6 times 1 is negative 1. Negative 6, I'm sorry. Negative 6 times 1 is negative 6. And then I got a plus 5. Yay, it's all there. Alright, now let's combine our terms. So g of x equals negative 2. I only have 1x cubed. That's very nice. X squareds, I've got 2 of them. Add them up, we get negative 3. Negative 3x squared. Single x's, that's 3 minus 12, so it's negative 9. And then singles, 1 minus 6 plus 5. That's actually 0. Negative 6 plus 5 is negative 1, plus 1 is 0. So we got that. And then from here, we multiply everything by negative 2. So my g of x, negative 2 times x cubed is negative 2x cubed. Negative 2 times negative 3x squared is positive 6x squared. And negative 2 times negative 9 is positive 18x. So if I were to apply those transformations, that would be the final answer. Yeah. Alright, last one, number 16. We are taking that polynomial. We are doing a horizontal stretch by a factor of 3. So that is horizontal stretch. That's inside. 8 units down. That's outside. And a reflection across the x. To go across the x, you got to go up and down. So that's also outside. So the rule I'm going to make, g of x equals, the only thing I need to do inside, to stretch by a factor of 3, I have to divide all my x's by 3. So you can either say 1/3 x, or I'm actually going to say x divided by 3. Same thing. And then we are going to go 8 units down, so minus 8, and a reflection across the x-axis, so multiply it by a negative. That's our rule. That's what we're going to do. So do the g of x. Here we go. So g of x equals negative bracket. We got to put x over 3 for all of the x values. So 3 times x over 3 to the 4th plus x over 3 cubed plus 3 times x over 3 squared plus 12. And in the end, we are going to subtract 8 after the fact. So here we go. G of x. And we're going to do a lot at the same time here. Negative 3 to the 4th, I think is 81. 3 to the 4th is 81. Okay. And then, and we're dividing. So this right here turns into an 81. 3 divided by 81, I think, is 1/27th. 3 over 81 is 1/27th. Good. So I've got wrong color. 1/27th x to the 4th. 3 to the 3rd. Again, 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. Times 1 out front, so that's 1/27 x to the 3rd. No, I'm okay. I love your hat, by the way. My son has a pillow on his head saying it's a hat. 3 squared is 9. So the 3 out front divided by now the 9 on the inside is 1/3. So it's plus 1/3 x squared plus 12 minus 8. All right, that wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. So g of x equals, and flip all the signs. So it's negative 1/27 x to the 4th minus 1/27 x to the 3rd minus 1/3 x squared. And this makes it a negative 12 minus the 8 makes it negative 20. I'm going to go ahead and do all that at once because I don't feel like doing it twice. And that is your final answer.